Hello and welcome to the South by Southwest studio. I'm your host, Wajahat Ali, and we have got some terrific interviews lined up for you today. Before we begin, though, I wanted to point out that I'm wearing this button that's part of South by Southwest Collaborations for a Cause. The sunflower is a national flower of Ukraine, and they've done 2 pieces of merch to support relief efforts, this pin and a t-shirt. Proceeds from the sales will go to global giving and the Kyiv Independent. If you can, please try to purchase and support. Our first guest is a 3-time Grammy-winning music producer, Hall of Fame songwriter, and was the lead singer of Four Non-Blondes. They were from San Francisco, just saying. Her influence on female empowerment has helped shape the sounds of Pink, Christina Aguilera, Brittany Spears, and Adele, just to name a few. Please welcome OG, Hall of Famer, Linda Perry to the studio. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You deserve a round of applause for yourself.
I try to pat myself on the back. I don't do it enough. I'm constantly, I'm the person that kicks myself to the curb.
Oh, you're one of those.
No matter what greatness I do, it's just never good enough. So the fact that I applauded is my new journey into self-care.
Well, that's huge. That's a 2022 shift. You're like, you know, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough,
and damn it, people like me.
And I'm gonna like me too. When you just said that, you're like, you would be a very good daughter of Pakistani immigrants. You're like, I got an A-, mom. You're like, where's the A? But it's really interesting that you said that because, I mean, you've crushed it throughout your career. I mean, when I was growing up back in the day, I was like, if I had just achieved what you did in the early 90s as the lead singer of Four Non-Blondes, I could put a cap in my head and be like, I'm done, I'm dope. But you went beyond that. You Hall of Fame songwriter, producer, Grammy winner. Not only are you creating music, but you've cultivated brilliant artists. If people saw the people you've worked with, you'd be like, oh my God, this is Linda Perry. And why do you feel that to this day you're like, I
don't know. I think that part of my edge is this kind of humble approach. You know, I've met a lot of people in my life that are so content and arrogant and full of self-love and
too much self-love.
Too much self-love, and I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like being uncomfortable. I like being, I like finding comfort in misery. And I'm the person that will walk 5 miles with a pebble in my shoe, and it's so uncomfortable, but I don't care. I'll just keep walking and I won't stop. That is my drive. That is my motivation. Now, I'm not saying that's healthy, but I don't know. I don't ever think anything that I do is good. And so I'm constantly trying to beat myself. Like my competition is me. I don't compete with other people. I am enough, and so that's just the way I do it. And that's what's gotten me from here. I mean, in San Diego, I was raised, I squatted in cars, parks, abandoned apartments, and on paper, I was not a winner.
And that's what I want to talk about, because the origin story, and again, I was born and raised in the Bay, and so when Four Non-Blondes came out, I was telling you earlier, and you all achieved the success, we're like, they're ours.
Yep.
Ours. Linda Perry and Four Non-Blondes made it, and the story then was, everyone's like, oh, Linda Perry, Four Non-Blondes, what's up? The song took off, but just you take the DeLorean a few months before the song took off, you were in San Francisco in a windowless room, broke, hustling. and you ever sit there and think, oh my God, 25 years ago, that's how I started off, and look at me now.
No, unfortunately, I should. Thank you for reminding me to do that, but I don't, because I'm only in the moment. My past is my past. I carry luggage and I carry pain from it, but I don't move and navigate from my past. I only am in the moment of this conversation. Everything you're telling me now is news to my ears. whether I've been living it or not, because I don't hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna walk out of here. I'm going to go to.
Like, who was that? That Sanjay Gupta was a good.
I mean, I remember you, but I'm gonna go to because right now, what's in my future is Equalizer is happening, at 1 p.m. today.
1 p.m. today. She's talking about Equalizer. We're going to get to it at South by Southwest.
But
You have to go
that's
to
what
that
I'm
panel.
focused on right now.
Yeah.
So anyways, but hey, whatever I'm doing, it's working. So I'm not going to.
It's working really well. You're doing pretty good. Not bad.
I'm doing okay, but I wonder if I could do better if I actually, preserved a little
This interview
bit.
right now is an A-.
Yeah.
We're going to see in the next 10 minutes we get to an A. But you did say this, that you do carry pain.
Yeah.
So you choose to carry pain from the past, which is interesting, and you let go of everything else.
Yeah, well, isn't pain a wonderful thing? I mean, I feel I don't have the same relationship to pain than a lot of people. Like, to me, pain is it's your memory, inside that pain travels, right? We can't get rid of that. I can stop being a drug addict, but I can't stop feeling the pain, that's for me, of childhood, of things that have happened, and for some reason, that is a positive to me. It's not a negative to carry that. It's a positive because it is constantly reminding me that, as a mother right now to a 7-year-old, that pain helps navigate how I am as a parent, and I'm an awesome parent. I'm really great.
I got a 7-year-old also.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing that child is experiencing that I experienced, from my parents. I'm not bringing that, because if I didn't remember the pain that it caused me, maybe I would be causing the same pain.
You would revisit that pain on the next generation.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people that became their parents.
That's right.
There's no way I'm going to remember that. That's too heavy for me.
Trauma changes the genes.
Yeah.
They say it just changes us internally, and then you pass that trauma on genetically. You're like, nope, this is gonna stop with me.
No.
But there's also the opposite of pain sometimes, or what can come out of pain is joy.
Yes.
Do you ever retain that as well from the past and bring it to the future?
No, I don't have joy, but I do have joy with my son. I mean, he is all I need. That's all the joy I need. I'm way too hard. Listen, this could be a very deep, conversation.
I think you and I would get like that negative voice in our head.
The thing is, it's not a negative voice. It's just, I don't ever want to feel like I'm good enough. I don't know why. Because maybe it's the same reason a lot of heroin addicts don't stop doing heroin. They think the heroin is what's making them creative.
Yeah.
You know that a lot of people go through that.
Oh, it's not me, it's the drug. I need to be on this kick.
So I think it's my heroin, my feeling of discontent, my feeling of like I'm not good enough. That is my drug. That is my heroin that continues to drive me, because whatever it is, I'm constantly getting better. I'm always getting better, and I love that. I will sacrifice, whatever comfort, patting myself on the back is going to give me, I'm 100% creative. I'm an artist.
That's your identity. That's who you are.
I am an artist, and I am constantly in creative. I am constantly producing, whether I'm going to sit here and produce you, the person walking down the street, whatever it is, I'm constantly watching things and seeing how it could be better. So for me, I just scored this film. And if I wasn't such a dick to myself, I don't think I would have done as well as I did. It's a great score. I mean,
What's the film?
It's called Luckiest Girl Alive. It's a Netflix film starring Mila Kunis, and it's a great film. Michael Barker is the director. Susan Jacobs, music supervisor that got me the job. And this is my first big film, and my God,
you're like, this is dope.
This is good. And now, but after it's done, I just turned it in, my last cue.
Congrats.
At 1 a.m. before I hopped on the plane at 6 a.m. yesterday. And now I'm like going, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to do? But that drive, that push, that I constantly, and that kick that I keep giving myself, it's the kick I never got. I never had parents that drove me. They didn't. I mean, it was quite opposite. It was just like, come home when you feel it's a good time to come home. I didn't get that attention from my parents. I got abuse, but I didn't get, it wasn't the kind of, you're not good enough. You know, it was like, I don't want to be my parents. They didn't aim high enough at all, you know, and neither did my siblings. So for me, my drive is because I don't want to be that girl squatting in the fucking park ever again. That's never going to happen to me ever again. And that wasn't really my choice. It was just the tools that I had. That was me surviving.
It's that survival instinct that's still in there. You know, you never want to lose your edge.
No, I'm a survivor.
If you get too comfortable, I might lose the edge.
Yeah.
And that edge is what got me to this point. If I give up the edge, if I give up this voice, am I giving up? It's that constant struggle, that battle. If I give up this voice that has gotten me to this point, am I going to get too comfortable?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to lose my edge and my artistic integrity, my creativity.
He said it all. That's it.
But you've done it. I do it, and I just go make some Legos for my kids. Right. You have this way. I'm like, I'll go have a sandwich. You sit there and go, I'm going to crank out the best score of all time.
Yeah. It's exciting.
You know, there's this. I have to ask you about this fact that's done me. I'm going to quote this line that I read. Quote, in 2019, Perry earned a groundbreaking Grammy Award nomination for Producer of the Year, making her the first woman in 15 years to be nominated in the category, end quote. I read that 3 times. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The first woman in 15 years? Like, my brain was trying to make sense of how that's humanly possible in the 21st century.
Well, and on top of it, the woman that they're calling the woman that got nominated for producer was it was The Matrix. Remember The Matrix?
Yeah.
That production company or producing team. It was a woman and 2 guys. So she was just a woman in the team.
Right.
So it wasn't like a single female like myself. I'm the first woman by myself. That's
not part of a team, not part with other dudes.
That has been I'm the first woman that was nominated, on my own without a team.
Wow.
And no woman has ever won, because obviously no women are voted in. And the shocking part about that was my body of work when I got nominated was solid. It was
I think
diverse.
It's beyond solid.
It was great. It was very diverse. I had a rock album, I had a folk album, and I had done a score for this film with a lot of music that I had produced from demos. Like I had a demo. It was all cool demos that I got Gwen Stefani, Pink, Christina,
up-and-coming
Aguilera,
artists.
Up-and-coming artists.
They have a lot of talent.
To allow me to use the demo to put in the soundtrack for Serve Like a Girl. It was all the money was going to the women's oh my God.
I wish I could help you on this one.
Well, it literally was on, but the women.
A good cause.
The women don't get the same benefits after they return from being out in the service. So they don't get. So a woman's out on the field for 7 years. She comes home.
Serving her country.
Serving her country. She comes back to welfare. Yeah. She's got to go stay in line to get food stamps. Now, mind you, the guys don't come back to these major things, but they come back to checks. Why is that? Why are the men, the woman that stayed on the line,
just like the men
for 7 years, why does she have to go stay in line welfare, and why does the guy get a check from the government? Isn't that weird?
I mean, some would say patriarchy, misogyny,
weird,
inequality.
Right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, Serve Like a Girl was, just give money to our female vets. And anyways, so there's all these really cool demos. They were demos, but they were like great quality. So yes, it went to Pharrell, for doing Pharrell, but it was like.
Really? I flex. I can flex here today.
Do you really? Maybe. Do you think that you could have given? Not that I deserved it because of my gender, but because I fucking deserved it. Yeah. And the plus was you would be fucking giving a woman for the very first time a producer award, not, you know.
That in itself would be a headline.
A Grammy for that.
Yeah. And some of these numbers, okay, here's some other numbers. Only 21% of musicians are women, only 12% of songwriters are women, and only 2% of producers are women.
Yes.
Okay, it's an ignorant question, but you mentioned all this talent you've worked with. You're a massive talent. You mentioned Gwen. You put Beyonce in there. Pink, Ariana Grande.
Like I haven't worked with Beyonce, but Alicia Keys.
No, I'm just saying names.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
People who, when I think of the music industry, women are the trail. But Lizzo was here, crushing it. How is it possible in 2022 that those are the numbers?
Yeah, it is. Weird. Those are the numbers because what happens is if you look at it in a whole, you know, so we have one genre that women are shining in, and that's pop. But the majority of country are men. The majority of rock and roll are men. The majority of
even hip hop,
metal,
yeah,
are men. Yeah. Hip hop, I think there's more men, but the women who are popular in hip hop, that's in the pop world. You know, that's like the popular. There's probably more women that are popular, you know, so that we're seeing constantly, but the majority in a whole are men. There's more men in jazz. There's more, you know, folk. It's all, so across the board, there's just more men in the business.
And men help oftentimes other men.
Yes. And then the songwriter, they're definitely, you know, it's just more men dominated, especially in country and in hip hop. You know, it's just a majority of the men that are writing these terrible songs, you know, that's men. You know, the formatted pop songs, that's coming from more of a male-driven. So, you know, I think, again, when you look at it as the music business is not just pop music. It's rock and roll, it's metal, it's country, it's R&B, it's jazz, it's folk, it's indie, you know.
Indie roots.
It's a lot. Yeah. And grassroots, you know, and so if you're looking at just pop, yeah, maybe there's more women in pop.
But if you take that macro approach,
take it all in, there's definitely by far way more men in the business that are getting signed and getting these opportunities, you know.
How can Equalizer level the playing field for women?
So Equalizer is, you know, Alicia Ballard is my partner in this, and she's amazing. She's just always wanted to support women and get more women in tech. So we teamed up together and came up with Equalizer, and we said, let's go to South by, and let's just go launch. You know, let's do whatever. We'll go
as
do
one
it.
Does.
As one will do, and we'll do a panel, and we'll do a 2-day event, you know.
And which you probably regret immediately. As soon as you're like, oh, Lord, I can do a 1-day event.
Lord. Well, it's always got to be more, you know, for me. It's like 1 day is not enough. It's got to be 2. But anyways, so what we're going to do is try to help level out the percentages to equalize it, you know, the equality, and figure out ways to support other organizations like She's the Music, Moving the Needle, WHAM, that's Women's Audio Mission, Sound Girl. There's all these incredible organizations. And so Equalizer is going to come in as a middle person, and we're going to try to help support them to try to get these women out of the rooms, because right now a lot of women are getting in the studio with other women doing a lot of songwriting camps, but that's just not going to do it for me. We got to get those women out of those rooms and get them into different rooms. Obviously, that's what everybody wants to do, but also, you know, we're showing you today. What you're going to see is me moderating a whole panel. I'm going to talk about, you know, shit going on. I'm going to interview an artist. Then I have a panel. I'm going to talk to the audience. I'm going to pick girls from the audience.
Wow.
up and bring them on stage. And if they can perform, I'm going to put them on the spot, let them perform
If you're
right
a
now.
performer, Linda could choose you today.
Yeah.
So
And-
if you come
yeah.
out and come on out and
Yeah,
bring your talent.
exactly. And so then after that, we have, from 8 to, 2 o'clock, we have a bunch of badass, very diverse female artists getting on stage and performing for the next 2 days. And it's diverse. It's a very eclectic group of, it's curated really well. So
I wonder who curated it.
I wonder. So I'm excited about that. So all we're going to try to do is find some solutions.
Yeah.
What those solutions are, I don't know yet, but that's why we're starting. And I want to do a women NAM.
Yeah.
With workshops and because NAM is huge.
What is it? And
NAM is we're a convention that happens every year, and it's all for tech. So it's like everybody in the business that has, if it's Gibson to Neve to, Moog to whatever, Roland, they all go there and they all showcase their new lines, their new equipment, their new microphone, their new keyboards. There's all these workshops, and it's very male dominated.
What a surprise. Tech being male dominated.
I'm going to do a female version of that. Of course. Where women can actually be heard, be seen, and be leading. And that is the most important part, is women leading right now, because it's hard. I mean, I got ousted, right now it's like when I was in Four Non Blondes, I hated the sound of that record. I don't know why, but I did not like that record. And I kept asking the producer, why does my voice sound so thin? Like, I'm meaty. I have a very earthy, graggly voice, but I'm not hearing it. It sounds really perfect. Can't you just let me do this? This is what I'm here to do. Can't you just be a singer? Now, if Axl Rose did that.
That record's never coming out.
Huh?
That record would never get out.
It wouldn't come out. And also, Axl will be considered a leader.
And you're considered being difficult.
I was considered being difficult, but Axl will be considered a leader and someone who's he knows what he wants from his career.
Linda, you are a leader.
Yeah.
You are a pioneer. I would give this interview A-. I thought you could have done a little bit better, but I'm pleased. You're going to be helping find talent. You're going to be helping them express their voice. You're going to help them connect them to gatekeepers.
Yes.
You've been doing that throughout your career. I appreciate it. For those who are songwriters, producers, people who have talent and voice, come on out today, 1 p.m. Where can they find the Equalizer panel?
Lester Pearl, right? Is that how you say Lester Pearl?
Lustry Pearl.
On Rainey Street. And we're doing this tomorrow, too. So it's 1 p.m. to 2 a.m. tomorrow as well.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And I appreciate all your work. And maybe, just maybe after today, a little bit less self-ass kicking, but you know what, if that's what keeps your edge. Thanks so much for stopping by, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, you can watch all of our studio interviews on the South by Southwest TV app, available on Apple TV, Roku, Android TV, and Amazon Fire. These interviews are also available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SXSW. And for a complete list of our interview schedule, check out sxsw.com/studio. I'm Wajhat Ali. Thanks for watching.